Good morning. My name is Ann Packham. I'm going to be your service leader today. Welcome to the University Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We welcome everybody here, even if you're visiting for the first time, especially if you're visiting for the first time. We are an eclectic congregation. We are mainly lay-led, but we have a part-time contractual minister who's here about once a month. Before we get into greeting each other, I wanted to just a couple of housekeeping things. The emergency exits are through the door that you came in. through the back, or through out here. And we encourage people, if you're not feeling well, to watch us online. We have our friends here on Facebook, and if you would take a moment and turn to them and say hello. We welcome you as well. And just take a moment, if you're here in person, to greet your neighbor, maybe somebody that you don't know. We will have a lot of time after the service for coffee and tea, so you can continue those conversations with us at that time. We welcome you to do that. Before we actually get into the meat of the service, we'd like to invite our committee chairs for any brief announcements about what's going on. If you are not receiving our notable news where all this information is contained, you could see me after, and we'll make sure that you get on the notable news.
Hi, Tay with RE. Thank you to everyone who came out and helped with the wildflower planting yesterday. I'm excited to see how it all looks, and I'm sure you all saw some of our beautiful chalk drawings at the front. So yay to everyone. Today, after service, is our trunk or treat is going to be at 12:30 in the parking lot. So there will be childcare from when service ends to when the event begins. If you wanted to be, if you are able to stay but you didn't bring any candy or anything, I do have extra candy. So if anyone's able to stay, I have at least 2 full bags full of candy that you can hand out as well. So, and then I believe next week, November 1st, is going to be another Parents' Night Out. It's going to be our last one for 2025. So if any parents are interested, that's going to be Saturday night, 6 to 9 p.m. It's in the notable news. And you can just email or text me if you're interested. There's not going to be a specific sign-up for that one. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Janet. First of all, we're going to have a meeting about our music program early next year. However, in the meantime, if you would like to help out with music in any way, if you want to help lead a hymn, or if you want to sing a song, or participate as an instrumentalist, let me know, or Larry, or Martha. And also, if you know somebody talented who's doesn't want to put themselves forward, you can nominate other people too. So, anyway, and also at 1 p.m., we're having a discussion group meeting in the library, and the topic's going to be nonviolent resistance. And we'll be looking at the classic nonviolent resistance of Gandhi and King and others, but we're also going to look at how their actions, the context of their actions, compare with what we're doing today and what we could do today. So I hope to see you there.
Women's group, the Sisterhood, will meet on the 7th. We're going to have a potluck, and also we're going to have trivia this month. So come on over if you identify as a woman.
Hi, Marilyn Lunda for Pastoral Care, and excuse me, thanks to the efforts of Martha, we have located Sylvia Friedman, who's the past chair of this committee. And if you would like to make a card out for her and give it to me, we plan to go try to visit her this afternoon. We'll take them to her. Okay, for those of you who remember her, she's a long time. The artwork is Sylvia's artwork. So.
Bettina for membership. In 2 weeks, on Sunday, November 9th, you can see it up there on the screen, we're going to have a coffee, cake, and chat after service. So this is for anybody who may be visiting and you want to know more about Unitarian Universalism, have some questions you want to get answered, or just get to know us. We're going to hang out after service, have cake, as it says, and coffee if you wish, and just enjoy a little bit of time together. So come see me or come see Margie if you want to know more about it. Margie's in the pink shirt somewhere. You saw her on the way in. That's it.
Good morning, Carl Packham on behalf of David McElroy and the men's support group, which is not up there.
It's up there.
Is it up there?
Not yet.
It's not. You see, I was telling the truth. I am a truthful person. I would never take it personally. Anyway, November the 17th, I had to look it up, and 6:30 here in the church. It's potluck, or just bring your own food, men's support group. If any questions, you can see me, or I don't want you to put him on the spot, but Peter Carlson will also have some answers as well. Thank you, Peter.
Good morning, everyone. Miguel Rodriguez from Social Action Committee. So does anyone know what's happening on November 4th? Elections. 52,000 elections around the country, including for governorship and mayoral races, if I can pronounce that correctly. So if you are in a district or county, city limits that have voting, vote, because we want to have elections in 2026. So we got to, we went out in No King's Day and we get out there, but one of the best ways also to practice your democracy is actually to vote while we have them. Okay? Yes, oh, thank you. And relating to, yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, a debrief on No King's Day and Pride and all that good stuff. So noon today in the library, SAC meeting today, and also we'll be on Zoom. So please join us.
And Martha, on behalf of the program team, our next meeting is a Zoom meeting again. We are looking for an opportunity to have it in person, but it's difficult this time of year. So it will be on the 4th at 7, unless you're working the polls, I'm sorry. You should be able to get there because you will have voted early if you're able to vote that day. So it'll be on Zoom, and the notable news said November 7th, but it also said Tuesday. Tuesday's the key word, Tuesday the 4th at 7. So there will be a full email coming out separately as well. Anyone is welcome that wants to help shape what we see on Sunday mornings.
Thank you, and you can see the information about the memorial service that will be here next Sunday as well. Okay. Now we'll move into the meat of the service. My opening words today are by Christian Schmidt from the UUA Worship Web. Welcome to all manner of creatures. No matter who or what you are welcome here. Let's be clear. Here we welcome goblins and ghouls, saints and sinners, angels and devils, zombies and werewolves, vampires and witches. We welcome princesses and princes, paupers and farmhands, aliens and astronauts, robots and cyborgs, firefighters and police officers, nurses and doctors, cowboys and cowgirls, cowfolk of all varieties. We welcome Superman, Wonder Woman, Black Panther, Batman, Spider-Man, Black Widow, and Thor. Indeed, we welcome all superheroes and superstars. In short, we welcome all people, monsters, and all manner of creatures. Here we welcome you, and all of who you are and what you are. Welcome. Our opening music today will be in the gray hymnal, number 1023, and, it's the teal one, sorry. It's in the teal hymnal, which you can now find because your chairs have the lovely book holders, and it will be led by Janet and Gary.
Yeah, and so this, is this on? No, it's not. Is it on now? No, it's not. No, there we go, okay. So this is a round that we have sung before. It should seem familiar to many of you, and what we're going to do is sing it through once, all together, and then this side, I'm going to leave this side starting, and then the other side is going to come in when Gary comes in. So.
And please rise in body or spirit so we can hear our voices really strong.
Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you when you reach out to me. with all of our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we can make such sweet harmony.
Friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Wow, that was really good. So our chalice lighter today is Alice. Alice uses she, her pronouns, and her joy is that we're having trunk or treat and that she gets to dress up, which I see she has. Let us say together, in the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And each week, we like to affirm why it is that we come together on Sunday morning. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Now is the time in our service where we have an opportunity to share any particular joys that we want to lift up and any concerns that we may have where we can hopefully lighten the load a little bit. I do like to remind everybody that this is recorded and is on the internet and could be there forever. So please don't say anything here that you wouldn't want everybody to know.
My joy is that I have two joys, and one of them is that it's Twinkle Tree at church, and the other one is that it's almost real Twinkle Halloween.
On October 20th, it was my birthday. I turned 62.
Alice and I just got back from my friend's wedding yesterday, who is now happily married, and he's our first friend from high school to have gotten married, so now we're not alone being the only married couple from our class.
My joy is that it's trunk or treat today, and Flopsy is also happy.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Flashbarian.
I have two joys. One, I am excited to be dressing up, and two, I am excited for Sunday Sweet.
I have, I guess, two joys as well. One, I made it through another crazy busy season, and I'm happy to be back in person. And then two, we're coming up about three weeks out now from the little guy's 1-year birthday.
So Melanie, for your differential equations update, he had, Christopher had an exam on Friday, and he said it went better than the first exam. So woohoo! I still don't know when the final is, but the last day of finals is December 18th, so we got a couple more months to go. But thank you. One day at a time. So your continued good energy, please. Thank you. Champaign, Illinois.
I don't think we have any joys or concerns from online, but let's just take a moment to pause for a minute and think about some of the joys or concerns that may have gone unspoken. Amen. All right, so now we are at the time for all ages, and Tay, you are up. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. So today is not only our RE Halloween activities, but it's also trunk or treat. So you may see kids and adults in costumes all around you. But why do we wear costumes? What started out as a way to fend off evil spirits has become a form of self-expression. Dressing in costumes allows us to find creative ways to bring characters, people, and things we love to life. It allows us to celebrate the creativity of authors and artists we admire. It allows us a chance to momentarily become someone else. Even though we might love ourselves, we get the chance to showcase the qualities and characteristics we admire in others. In the past year alone, I have been the Yellow Wiggle, Lindsay from Total Drama Island, Dory the Fish, a pirate, John Mulaney, a cow, and I'm now Robin from Stardew Valley. It makes a lot more sense when my trunk is here and decorated. Dressing up in costumes allows us to reconnect with the feelings of childhood and imagination, and there's nothing more special than that. I now invite anyone in costume with us, child or adult, to come up and show off your costumes. Line up as we would for joys and concerns, and we'll invite everyone to showcase their costumes and explain who you are. Okay.
Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. We are Isabella and Lizzie McGuire from the Lizzie McGuire movie.
So cute. Okay, who are you?
Science experiment. The skull right here is Tim, and then I have Flopsy right here.
I love it. Awesome. I'm Gollum. Yeah.
I'm Caitlin, and I'm a cat.
Hi, I'm the Flash.
Yeah.
I'm Mad Scientist.
Nice. Okay, you're right here. This is Caden.
I'm actually my own character. I call him Flynn. I can't see.
Their own character name is Flynn. I can get you through the middle. There you go. All right,
Maisie. Maisie is the gecko from PJ Masks.
I'm Rumi.
Through me. And do you want to say?
Do you want to say it or you want?
Eva is, oh, you want to say it?
Elsa.
Queen Elsa.
I'm the Savannah princess.
Beautiful.
You gonna say something? She wants to take it.
Say, I love you.
You want to hold it yourself?
Can you sing? This could take a while.
That's okay.
I'm saving my costume for trunk or treat.
So thank you to everyone who was brave enough to come up. I love all the costumes, and I hope to see more during Trunk or Treat. Thank you all.
I have to admit, I don't know some of those characters, so I'm going to have a conversation during Trunk or Treat to learn many of those. My kids grew up in the princess era, so we're stuck in time, I guess. So this is time for our interlude and offering. We are a generous congregation, so all donations and pledges are used to upkeep our building, to pay our staff, to have great programming here. So we encourage you to be generous. There are multiple ways that you can contribute. We also share 40% of any loose offering that comes in the baskets with a local organization. It's the Hope Community Center this quarter. They are working with our immigrant population, so please give generously, and we will have a hymn that you don't have to stand for during this time, and it's 10:31. Also the teal hymnal.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be home. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be home. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
We know our kids have the wiggles, so we'll send them out. Mallory, you want to give me a note? We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Our presentations today are about overcoming fear. When I was looking up some quotes to introduce this section, I found something by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do the thing you fear most, and the death of fear is certain. Thought about that. So we have members today, Leela Bongiorno and Peter Despang, to give our presentation about overcoming fear.
It's Peter Carlson.
Sorry, Peter, I'm sorry, did I say Peter Despang? I'm sorry. Well, you've been together so long, sorry. Sorry about that.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, my goodness, I forgot my glasses. Okay, so now that we have the first mistake out of the way, always something, right? Yeah. Okay, so, I lied. I forgot my clicker. I'm operating on about 2 hours sleep, so forgive me. Okay, so we decided, the program planning people, that Halloween was a great opportunity to talk about overcoming fear. Americans are odd. We love to scare ourselves. And yet, we have any number of millions of people who truly suffer from fear and anxiety. I mean, think about it. We spend, our horror movies are budgeted at about 5 to 10 million a year. That's a lot of money. And horror movies are the lowest budgeted movies. So they're cheap to produce and they make a lot of money. Scary Movie grossed $157 million domestically. That's not even how much. So we love to scare ourselves. But we also suffer from fear. The National Institute of Mental Health estimates that approximately 19% of American adults have an anxiety disorder that they actively were fighting in the past year. So what today is about is ways in which we can help to overcome our fears and maybe help one another to overcome our fears. By the way, 19% translates to about 51 million people. So, all right.
Want me to take that for you?
No, I might need my glasses if I could ever find them. Look what I have in my hand. Okay. Thank you. That's what happens to me when I have no sleep. My brain is, okay. Well, anyway, enough of that. So, right now, in this time in our history, Americans are experiencing fear in a way that many of us have never experienced it before. We're concerned about our democracy. We're concerned about our income. We're concerned about our safety. We're concerned about the lives of our immigrant friends who are here legally. So there's a lot of anxiety in the air. The psychology of fear is, first of all, we're not going to ever not have fear in some sense. Fear is built into our bodies. It lives in the amygdala and deep in the middle of our brain. If you can drill down from the top of your brain there, about 2 inches, there it is. But it's a very important and useful biological aspect of our bodies. Fear is important. It helps us keep ourselves safe. It lets us know when there's danger. And it can be life-saving, but if your fear runs away from you, it can also be debilitating. So what I want to ask you all is, for most people, fear can fall into 3 different categories. You have a fight reaction, get mad. You have a flight reaction, run away, or a freeze reaction, meaning suddenly you don't know what to do and you're stuck. So those are kind of the categories of reactions, but every person's body is unique. So any of you out there, is there something in particular that happens when you start getting afraid? Do you lose your breath? Speak up.
Close my eyes.
You close your eyes. Okay.
Your heart races.
Heart races.
When the scary music starts in a scary movie, I run to the kitchen and make snacks for everybody else.
Okay.
I just start getting anxious.
So there's one more click. And again, please. And there we go. I originally started out with a picture of a rattler coming out of the page, and I thought, no, that's just too much in the morning. So we have phobias. Everybody has phobias. Is there anybody that doesn't have a phobia? So snakes, fear of heights, fear of spiders, social anxieties. Some of us are very, very shy. Thank you for raising your hand. And it's lovely to have you here because we're seeing a lot of you come out. And then there's generalized anxiety, when you're just afraid all the time and you don't really know why. And so, you know, the idea is that this generation in particular is very articulate about fear. They have names for things like FOMO. Anybody know what FOMO is? Missing out. Yeah, exactly. What's FOF? Fear of failure. And its opposite? Yeah, that's a real first world problem, right? Fear of success. But it's real, you know. You undertake a goal and everything's going really well, and you wonder when the other shoe is going to drop. Are there any other fears, any other fear initials that anybody can contribute?
Abandonment.
A fear of abandonment, that's a biggie. Hydrophobia? Agoraphobia. That's a big one. You can't leave your house if you have that. You remember the TV show Monk? Yeah, boy, that guy had it. His brother, couldn't leave the house.
I have a fear of not getting
Oh, yeah.
Say that again, so.
Okay. John has a fear of not getting Social Security, and boy,
My friends online also want to hear, so
okay.
I'm just going to hold on to it.
Yeah, please, thank you. Okay, so, this is something we deal with. Everybody has a different thing that's on their mind. Click, please. And all of these things have their influences. We can be affected by our surroundings if we're in, say, a dangerous neighborhood. Our social context can influence how and how much we feel fear. The media, anybody find themselves reading Facebook and suddenly their body's all tight? The media can really play into fear. I have a particular example. At one time, I was engaged to a man who had a lovely little boy. He was 3, and his mother was afraid of bridges. And at the time, I lived in Jacksonville. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Oh, okay. So, Jacksonville has one of the longest bridges in the country. Very, very long. Anyway, this little boy used to watch his mother, who is terrified of bridges, cower and shake and tremble when he was in the car with her. So if we had to go out and the little boy was with us, his name is Little Charles would have the same fear reaction. He would tremble and get down on the floor. And the first time it happened, interestingly enough, his father wasn't surprised, but I was. I'm like, what's happening? And his father and I just didn't give it any attention at all. And all of a sudden, he sort of shrugged and sat up, sat down on the back seat. And what do you know? That was the only time he ever demonstrated any fear of bridges. So it can happen that you can be influenced by people around you. If you see everybody around you is reacting with fear, it's kind of smart to say, oh my God, what's going on? Do I need to be concerned? So all of these things add up to our experience of life. However, action is a choice. You can choose to deal with your fear. And now I'm going to talk about some ways in which we can deal with the effects of fear. Okay. So there's all kinds of ways that people deal with fear. We've already talked about a few. Somebody was talking about Margie goes into the kitchen when the scary music starts to play. Okay, that's avoidance. We have physical symptoms of fear. Our stomach churns, our sweat breaks out, and probably as many physical symptoms are out there as there are people. We're all different, but it manifests, it's in our body, and it manifests us in some way. And once you get to a certain age, you kind of recognize it. Emotional distress, like little Charles in the car, he was taught to be fearful of bridges. But if we identify our fears and we are intentionally addressing our fears, we can manage them. However, of all of these manifestations, to me, there's one thing that contributes to everything else, and that is we lose our ability to sleep when we're overwhelmed by fear. And that is extremely harmful because we need sleep to process our fear. We need sleep. I think I've demonstrated that a couple of times today. We need sleep to think properly, right? So, click forward, please. One more. Our brain, right? We're trying to get to sleep, and our brains just won't shut up.
Notifications. Notifications.
Oh, yeah. Boom, boom. Go ahead, click forward. Keep going. So these are all the kinds of things that your brain likes to helpfully present to you while you're trying to sleep. As I was researching this topic, it was interesting to me to see all the cartoons that are out there that have your brain like as a cartoon character, and this person in bed trying to sleep is like, shut up, just let me sleep. Well, no, don't you remember that time in the 3rd grade when you said that thing? We all do it. We all do it. But there's things you can do to help stave that off. And one is to help stave off fear. I personally love to read, but I would never pick up a Stephen King novel and take it to bed. Some people have, my aunt is really good about this. She will not have a serious discussion after 9 o'clock at night. That's it. Because she knows that she's going to be replaying that conversation all night long. Eating late doesn't help anybody when you're wrestling with fear, because your body doesn't, you could end up with a little bit of heartburn, and that doesn't help your sleep either. I have a friend who, this is a Jacksonville friend, who used to have a glass of wine before bed every night, and her doctor told her, stop doing that, because alcohol will help you maybe get to sleep, but it runs out about 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's what is the worst, right? So no alcohol, no caffeine, that's kind of a no-brainer. No chocolate, no coffee. No chocolate, I know, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean you can't have it in the daytime, but hopefully you do the bad stuff early enough in the day that the effects are gone by the time you get to bed. So can you see how much alike we all are? I mean, everybody's like nodding their head. We often share the same reactions, but there are some solutions. One more click. Okay, so one of the best things you can do is stop castigating yourself for being fearful. We all have fear. It does manifest. But you can do a few things to help yourself sleep. And one of them, like this woman with the seashell to her ear, white noise. There are many, many people who really benefit from white noise. My parents do the next one, and I was shocked when I found out because they're not the kind of people to do touchy-feely stuff. They like calming YouTube videos, the things that play. Can you click the link? Whoops. I'm sorry, I meant the link on the page. There you go. Seen the calming YouTube videos? There you go. Okay, link doesn't work. Anyway, wait a minute. There we go. Okay, so this is an example. And there's so many out there, and they're free. And you don't have to think, you can just watch them. And, calm yourself down and go off to bed. Okay? Hugs help a lot. I don't know about y'all, but I have a pet. We saw all of our pets last week, right? I sleep with my pet, and she gets so many hugs during the night, and it's just wonderful. I wake up, I roll over, I pet my dog, and suddenly I'm calmer, and off I go. Drugs can be a good thing. No, honestly, if you are just finding that nothing you do helps you, talk to your family doctor. It's not like 20 years ago when drugs that helped you sleep became very, very addictive. There are very, very helpful drugs out there now, and if you have a good family doctor, they're going to prescribe something for you that will help you, and they work. Many people like to pray when they're feeling worried and anxious. Their belief in the higher power helps them to feel like they are not going to be conquered by their fear. Affirmations are very similar to prayer. It's getting those thoughts back onto a positive track. Anything else? Is there a technique that... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just raising it.
John's got one.
This past year, we have no phone in the bedroom. Yeah.
Oh!
And I can't bring up a headline 3 hours before bed. That is the rule right now.
I like that. No phone.
I often resort to slow, deep breathing. And that helps my brain, and with all my attention focused on my breath, it's not focused on the craziness that runs in circles through my head.
Okay.
A couple things for us similar to the no phone. It's no TV in the bedroom, as well as blackout curtains, like as black as you can get them.
Yeah.
Lindsay. You get a lot of exercise. I know, and in these shoes.
I think I might have learned this one here. I've done the breathing thing, which helps, but sometimes there's something in my head that's just determined to traffic jam in my head. And they said, start thinking of the items in your house and breathe in the dining table, breathe in the hutch, and you go through your house. In the intake breath, you try and think of the next thing, and then to breathe out, you think of the thing. And I've even changed it to like cities of the world, and I'm with the alphabet. So, Argentina, Bulgaria, but I'm forcing my brain off of that troublesome thing. And then there's the song that when I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. And doing those long breathing things like that, it works.
Thank you.
I listen to audiobooks. That help me. I'm coming.
You remind me of Mrs. Wiggins. Remember that from the Carol Burnett show?
I do.
Okay.
I just wanted to add using your networks, using your friends, your loved ones, reaching out, not being afraid of the stigma behind some of the mental health problems. And I've found that when I've reached out, especially to friends about that, they've shared their problems, mental health problems with me, and then we can kind of connect on that. And they wouldn't have if I hadn't said anything. So it makes everything less stigmatized, and also you get support from, your more neurotypical friends too.
We're going to talk about that more in a couple of slides. That's a really good suggestion. Anyone else? Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've gotten to approaches to combating fear. These are two mutually working together kinds of principles. And one is the STOP technique. So if you look at ST and O, those are, I wish I had a laser pointer, those are about mindset. So stop what you're doing, stop thinking about what you're doing, take a few deep breaths, and just objectively observe what's going around you. The nutrition aspect of the 4-pillar anxiety, can you click one more time so I get the title there? There we go. The nutrition part is really important. It's not necessarily going to stop you from being fearful, but it's going to help a lot, especially if you don't eat sugar. We talked about chocolate, caffeine. That's right. And when you start addressing these things, then you have psychological movement. So the P is proceed, which relates to the movement and recovery. So when you're dealing with your fears and you're starting to make some progress, you're helping yourself, but also helping others who are making the journey with you. Okay. And now we get to hear from Peter, who is our resident expert on meditation and mindfulness. Do you need this? No. Okay.
You could put it on the slide, though, I guess, for meditation. Yeah. So, a couple of things. First one is, I was thinking about making these comments. I was thinking about a book called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. And basically the idea is that when a zebra is out in the wild and a lion comes up, they panic. Their body creates adrenaline and they rush and get away. But when there's no longer a lion, they calm down, right? Humans don't do that. We stay excited and upset. So there are two components to that. One of them is physical, the adrenaline. The other one's mental, the stories we tell ourselves. So with the mindfulness practice, we use mindfulness of breathing as the resource, the calming effect. And that brings you into your body. So whatever anxiety, stress, tension, whatever's going on there, you breathe it out. Particularly letting go with the out-breath. Practice this. And what that does is interrupts the story part. The story is what keeps it going. There's a kind of reverberation. The adrenaline in the body seems to validate the story, the oh my God story. And so then the oh my God story seems to bring more adrenaline into the system. So you have to stop that kind of cycle. And mindfulness of the body is what does that, mindfulness of breathing. I was thinking about the whole issue of sleep. I'm of an age where I don't sleep very well anymore. I used to fret about that. I don't anymore. It's just another time for me to meditate. I just bring my attention through my body, notice any tiny little bit of contraction or tension, let it go with the out-breath. And keep doing that. The story comes up, oh, I should be sleeping, oh, what about this, what about that, what about this? There's plenty of things to fret about these days, right? Back to the breath, back to the body, let go, let go. Main thing is I use that to stop worrying, to stop repeating this cycle. And because my body's rested and my mind is peaceful, I'm okay in the morning. I'm okay in the morning. So when you're confronted with something that creates anxiety, it's important to remember that there are two functions going on here. One of them in the body, muscle tension, heart racing, et cetera, et cetera. The other one in the mind, which is telling a story. When you pay attention to the breath sensation is not exciting. It doesn't generate adrenaline into your system. The more you can stay with that and whole body awareness, relaxing with every breath, that's a good way to interrupt the anxiety. Whether it's about in the middle of, 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon. And I've been doing this for more than half my life now, and it helps me a lot. I'm one of those people, one of those millions of people who have an anxiety disorder. But it's very well managed. So that's what I do. When I wake up in the morning, I meditate, formally meditate, and then before I go to bed at night, I meditate. I've been doing that for decades, and it serves me well. So you might want to consider doing that. Just spending some time tracking your body, learning how to let go. There's a saying in AA, let go and let God. I've changed that. It's let go and let Dharma. So that's how I deal with my anxiety. So I hope it's helpful for you, and I wish you well.
Thank you, Peter. That was wonderful. Okay, so next up is Laura. We're going to talk about, can I have that? So this is about support groups. And support groups are very helpful. Because it allows us to share, as Caitlin was saying, to share our experiences with others. Once you get to a certain age, I like to think that we have a certain wisdom that maybe younger people haven't lived through yet, haven't experienced yet. But the beautiful thing about a support group is that confidence is assured, and we get to interact with one another, and we deepen our bonds with people in our group. And here to tell us more about her experience in the women's support group is Laura.
I just wanted to mention, as someone who's had insomnia, very serious middle of the night insomnia for 25 years, much of it because of adrenal insufficiency, so I won't get into the medical side of that, and low blood sugar. I mean, I've written about it, I've studied it, I've told people. There's a number of supplements, I don't know how to do this, there's a number of supplements out there that are very safe and non-addictive, so if anybody ever wants to talk to me, please do. I'm not sure what else to share about support groups that Leela hasn't already, but to say that, what do we say here at UU, that joy is shared or amplified, and what's the other part? Yeah, and I think that's probably the core of the support group. Number one, it's confidential, it's relaxed, it's fellowship. And the kind of ironic thing is I don't necessarily share that much in the women's support group because I share all the time with people. So I write a lot about things that upset me, and I share when I feel like it. But I like to go because I like to be a support system for other people, because we've all had these experiences. So I think when you feel a comfort of a shared story. I feel that way too. That's happened to me too. I think that's the basis of a support group. I've been there. Maybe I haven't been there, but I'm listening. And so, however a support group works for you, if you need to share or you want to help others, if they want feedback, I think I find it very warm, and it's done a lot for me in a lot of different ways. So I think support groups and however you decide to share can be very helpful. And by the way, you don't have to share. You can just sit there and listen. Is there anything else you want me to say? This was a last minute thing she asked me, so I don't know.
That's beautiful.
All right.
So we do have 2 support groups here at church, maybe 3 if you count Jill's fun women's group, the sisterhood.
That's important too.
Oh, yeah, because the more bonds in the community that you have, the more secure you feel on the planet. Anyway, we don't have a date quite yet for the next women's support group. The men's next support group is November 17th. It's a potluck. More information will come with our next notable news, I'm sure. Okay, so click, there we go. One more click. So we have some cognitive behavioral strategies. One more click. Desensitization is it's been around for a long time. People who are afraid of spiders can learn to reduce their fear of spiders by being exposed to spiders. Read Charlotte's Web. That's a good idea, actually. However, there's the potential for mistakes. So if you're going to undergo a desensitization technique, like you have to get on an airplane and you're afraid of flying, I strongly recommend that you allow a professional to help you deal with that, because they know how much to expose you to, when to pull back, how to help you if you're getting really triggered, and all of those things. Okay. Cognitively, everything that we've discussed so far, it's about our brains, right? Just what we conjure up for ourselves. And the real solution is start replacing those negative ideas and thoughts with positive ones, but you can't really foster optimism or a healthy mindset unless you've stopped doing the negative mindset. Okay? Now, I have a tip for you. Okay. This is a particular area of weakness for me. My brain just chatters all the time. And I find myself suddenly becoming aware that I've catastrophized to the extreme. You know, I've allowed my brain to think of the worst possible thing that can happen. And I want to suggest to you that's not necessarily bad. If you ask yourself, well, what's the worst that could happen? If you do it in an objective way, you can actually say, oh, I could handle that. Another way of combating those extreme thoughts, and this works for me, is to say, one more click. Keep going. Cancel, cancel. So your brain starts really going, and you wake up and you realize, wait a minute, I don't want to be here, and say, cancel, cancel. I'm not entertaining this. I'm not letting this live in my body. And if you do it on a regular basis, it really, really works. You can stop your thought and get on a better track. Another, click please, therapy and counseling. Those are, sometimes these self-help things don't really get us very far. We need professional help. And that's a decision, and that's a decision born of courage. One more? All right, so here we are, and in summary, fear is natural. We can manage it, and when we do, we find that we have the benefit of personal growth. Any comments or questions?
Excellent job. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're going to extinguish our chalice now with the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame with the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing music is Spirit of Life. It's 123 in the gray hymnal, but I think everybody knows it. Mallory will give us a couple of measures of introduction. And please stand as you're willing and able. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit alive, come to me, come to me. This is an anonymous reading from the UUA worship web. I am afraid of nearly everything. I am afraid of nearly everything. Of darkness, hunger, war, children mutilated. But most of all, I am afraid of what I might become. Reconciled to injustice, resigned to fear and despair, lulled into a life of apathy. Unchain my hope, make me strong. Stretch me towards the impossible, that I may work for what ought to be. The hungry fed, the enslaved freed, the suffering comforted, the peace accomplished. We will have our postlude, and after that we will get ready for our trunk or treat. Go in peace.
So is it